Today, we're going to take a look at annoying liberals as Adam Conover came on Tim Pool's podcast to feign ignorance about any subject where he was held dead to rights on. And yet he calls himself a political commentator. So just so you know, he started off very aggressively stating that Donald Trump is leading the country off of the cliff, employing nothing but racist policies and destroying America. Here are a few clips as to what took place.
Bro, Donald Trump dumped food into a fish pond after Shinzo Abe did. Why are you trying to make that a negative
I don't even
story?
know what that
it was like
talking about there.
It's all of these hoaxes. The very fine people hoax.
I mean, I remember the line. Yeah,
Trump never called Nazis fine people.
He said there were very fine people on both sides,
except the neo-Nazis and white nationalists, who should be condemned totally.
And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally.
He said that.
Holy shit.
He said that. He said that. He said that. Really? I'm going to pretend not to know.
Shit.
Okay, you see that face? That face right there that you just saw, you can just rewind it a touch. Duper's delight.
I don't live in your bubble, man.
You don't live in the fucking news.
Then you shouldn't be a political commentator. If you don't know this, you shouldn't be coming on Timcast and declaring that you know that he said that there were fine people on both sides and not the follow-up, because that's the way that the media frames the event. They show you one portion of it and ignore the subsequent speech that completely contradicts the narrative that they are trying to propagate. And that's the same thing that this ass is attempting to put out into the ether.
Dude, come the fuck on. You don't read the fucking news. This is what fucking blows my mind.
Yeah. No, I just don't have your
No,
obsessions.
Trump did not call neo-Nazis and white supremacists very fine people. Bro, it's been almost 10 years and you still think he did. That's what's fucked up.
I didn't say I think he did. I just don't know what you're talking about because I don't listen to your shit.
It's not about listening to my shit, bro. It's reading the news. It's fact checking. Bro, I got Snopes for you. They're not a conservative publication. Even Snopes was like, guys, stop saying this.
I don't know why you're shouting at me. I was just asking you.
I don't know what you're shouting at me. I'm just professing ignorance. I'm on a political talk show, but I'm going to profess ignorance. Why are you yelling at me? Why are you wasting everybody's time?
Explain.
Because the issue we have, and I apologize, because I'm not trying to shout at you. I'm shouting in exasperation that we've had two liberals on in the past 2 weeks who didn't know this. And I'm just like, for the love of all is holy, all I do all day is I read probably 500 news articles every single day from CNN, the New York Times, MSNBC, and all their aggregates. And then liberals come on and they believe things that were debunked 8 years ago.
I didn't say I believed it. I was just asking what you were talking about.
You didn't know.
What? You didn't ask what he was talking about. You specifically said that Trump stated that there were fine people on both sides. Yeah, you knew about it. Don't lie. Don't profess ignorance.
Know this.
Yeah, I don't know everything that you know.
But this is what Biden launched his campaign on. Biden made a public announcement to launch his presidency in 2020 off of this lie. And you didn't know that. 5 years later.
I don't know why you're getting on me about this, but
it's again, I apologize. I'm not trying to get on you. It's the exasperation largely with liberals. So my point is, upholding the law is marginally good. Sometimes the law is bad, and that's why it's not always good. In this regard,
so wait, you're saying simply the fact that Marco Rubio exercised his legal authority to do something was good. It's like he had the legal authority to do it. He could have enforced this law as he saw it on any.
They're talking about removing from the United States, deporting visa holders that the United States believes are pro-Hamas or against the U.S. foreign policy, just so you know.
But he could have enforced it on a comedian, right? Who's in town and goes on stage and says, "Hey, you know what? I disagree with this or that." Or, "Hey, I just did shows in
Canada.
What?
Not from Canada.
No, but I just did shows in the UK and Amsterdam, and I made fun of UK politics, made fun of American politics."
You wouldn't dare make fun of Islam, though. Go to the UK and mock Islam. Do it.
Well, I don't have any jokes about Islam.
Why not? They got Pakistani grooming gangs raping little girls. Why won't you go to the UK?
What? I'm going to continue to profess ignorance. This is what makes such people so annoying. They're so disingenuous. When they're caught out, when they are stating that there are certain things that should be allowed to be said in America, and they're not willing to state that those same similar things that go against the cultural grain or norm in this case. He is trying to mock Tim Pool for even daring to suggest this. What? What are you talking about? How can you possibly think this?
Why won't you go to the UK and make jokes about Islam?
I don't think it's very funny. I don't have any jokes about it. I'm so confused.
There are plenty of jokes.
Okay, let me help unconfuse you. Are there jokes that can be made about Islam? Yes or no?
Wait, I don't want to. No? I don't want to go to the
scared. Oh, no. You're terrified. You're a hypocrite.
What?
Yep. Are there jokes you can make about Islam? Muhammad banged a little girl, right?
I'm really baffled.
Come on. I'm terrified of this subject. I'm not.
No, I'm not.
In the UK, you can be jailed for making jokes about Islam or even bring up the grooming gangs. There are people who go online and pointed out that a stabbing was carried out by a Muslim, and they got arrested for it. I'll bet you $1,000 you will not go to the UK and make a joke about any of that stuff, because you will not go to a foreign country and, in violation of their laws, speak out against what they've said not to speak out against. Do it. I dare you. $10,000. Cash in your pocket if you go to the UK and make a joke about Muhammad having a 12-year-old wife.
This we got here faster than I thought we would in this conversation. Where you're shouting at me about something I don't understand.
Oh, you're shouting at me. I don't understand it, but I'm pretending to be a political pundit, but I'm a leftist, so I'm in a little bubble, and I'm going to play to my audience and not admit that you have a point and just make you look like you're attacking me and mocking me, and how dare you? Oh my God, we got here way faster than I thought we would.
I don't really understand how you would think it's incumbent upon me.
Do you think anybody watching this right now thinks you are confused by the notion that in the UK you go to jail for mocking Islam?
I don't understand how we got onto.
They're like blasphemy laws. I don't understand how we got here. I want to avoid all this whole topic, because I feel really uncomfortable when you're making me look like a fool, which you are.
You shouting at me about Islam specifically, I'd like to return to
it's because you said people should be allowed to come to this country and speak out against it. And you said you're a comedian and you go to other countries, right? And you said you go to the UK. And I said, okay, if you go to the UK, speak out in violation of their laws and see what happens. And you said, I'm confused. I don't understand. What don't you understand? Will you go to Turkey? Will you go to Turkey and speak out against Islam?
I mean, if I have a joke to make, sure. I don't have a joke about those particular topics.
You would.
I would.
You're saying if you had a joke about.
Oh yeah. Sure. I would try to do the best I can. I always try to poke the bear as much as I can. It's part of the job of a comedian.
Nothing to because about as it pertains to one of the world's largest religions. I mean, come on.
I mean, I haven't written a joke about that recently.
Forever.
All right.
So look, hey man, I'm a free speech guy. You know, it's fortunate to watch the country like descend into that again. You know, racial issues are hard to tackle because it's we're very susceptible to it, and unfortunately, we've backslid into a period of white racial backlash again, where
white racial backlash. That's the framing from the leftists, not the fact that Carmelo Anthony stabs somebody in the chest who's white, and suddenly the donations pour in, proclaiming, I stand with you, brother. Way to attack Whitey, whatever the notes on the donation said at Give, Send, Go. Yeah, none of that. But, it's all white racial backlash. That's the way the leftist is going to frame it.
The people around the country are they're just like, I mean, the Trump administration literally just treats any black person as unqualified and fires them from the federal government. Like, that's what Pete Hegseth is doing in the Department of Defense. It's like,
just because he fires a black person, that black person might not be good or might not have the same outlook for what Hegseth wants done. It's my right as an employer to fire somebody that doesn't conform or want to employ the agenda that I have for the outfit.
It's just like out and out racism. It's like a racial purge of the government. It's really bizarre. They're trying to like resegregate the country.
Where did that happen? Where they were firing black people?
I mean, I don't know the names off the top of my head, but yeah.
That sounds.
Yeah, of course.
That sounds not true.
It isn't true.
I mean, because I'll put it this way: even if it were true, it's so overt that they're
being really overt about it. I mean, Donald Trump is going on television and going, planes are crashing because of DEI. So it's
but DEI is a philosophy, is an ideology.
He's saying
exactly. If you hire people that aren't fit for the job, regardless of skin color, because they have the chosen skin color rather than the best person, then when you have failures based on the lack of merit, then you should be able to call out the policy that got them hired. That's not racism. That is merit-based criticism of a program that does the exact opposite.
Because they're unqualified air traffic controllers because they were hired because they're people of color. It's racist. He's racist. He's a racist man, and he's issuing racist policy, and the entire country is going along with it because we're in a period of white racial backlash.
When do you think he became racist?
I think he's been racist his whole fucking life.
You just saw one of the most smug liars, annoying people on the internet, and this kind of represents the makeup of the left. They don't want to engage in truth. They want to be able to spew their rhetoric like Donald Trump being racist for having fired a black person as though they're unfireable, that they have a force field around them that prevents them from being fired if they don't fit the qualifications of the job needed or the agenda or the outlook. But this is the man, and he represents so many of the leftists in the United States that you try to debate with, that you try to have a good faith conversation with, and they're anything but good faith, because when you catch them out, they profess ignorance. So they say, well, let's talk about Trump. Let's return to this, rather than face the fact, for example, that Joe Biden, the entire administration and media, covered up his senility. It was the definition of a conspiracy. Many different nodes on the network participating with the obfuscation of his dementia. And then these people want to immediately switch the topic to Donald Trump and call Donald Trump a racist, or say Donald Trump is the liar. Why are you asking us? Because these are the conversations that I have with exactly such people. And I thought that you guys would be able to relate that he is the archetype of the leftists that don't wish to engage in good faith. And I just wanted to show you how these people engage with critical thinkers like Tim Pool and the smugness with which they enter into conversations and then use that to try to squash the opponent's points and then play the victim. Oh, how dare you? How dare you attack me for this? I want to talk about something else. Yeah, I'd do it. I'd tell the joke about Muhammad. No, you wouldn't. These are just all big liars. And let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Peace out.